Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. Hope you guys been enjoying the content on the channel as of late. Excuse me, just one of those another getting up early, waking up videos. So excuse me if I seem kind of haggard. Just waking up. Um, and I read this last night, and I kind of want to give my 2 cents on it, just because it kind of packages in some stuff that's worth noting. Um, so the whole it's not even that big of an issue. So Zachary Levi, the guy who played Shazam in the DC universe, I don't know what's been going on with that. I know that some like James Gunn's got his own thing going. Um, you know what I mean? So I'm not sure if he's involved in it. I heard I heard Wonder Woman 3 was supposed to happen, but now people are saying it's not happening. Gal Gadot was apparently fed some shit, or I don't know what's going on there. But um but he had some comments in regards to Hollywood. I'll just read the article from the Hollywood Reporter I got here. It says Zachary Levi criticizes Hollywood for making too much garbage. So let's read the article right here and see what's going on. So just days after the Shazam Fury of the God star made headlines for his comments about dumb actor strike rules taken out of context, he says, which full of shit probably. I mean, yeah, I mean most people who say they take it out of context, especially when you're understanding it coming from a Hollywood star or an actor like that, that's a nice way of saying I have to cover this shit up because someone told me that the way I said it ain't working out and it's jeopardizing my whole career. So you know what I mean. So gotta do some PR to keep the peace. You know what I mean. So, but anyways, so he made some headlines about dumb actor strike rules taken out of context, and a few weeks after calling movie critics insanely unkind in their Shazam sequel reviews. Um, okay. And a few months after seemingly knocking Dwayne The Rock Johnson for reportedly not wanting Levi's DC character in Black Adam, now Levi is tackling the quality of Hollywood films. Speaking at a Fan Expo Chicago on Saturday and reported by Entertainment Weekly, the 42-year-old actor took a shot at studio filmmaking, saying the following. I personally feel like the amount of content that comes out of Hollywood that is garbage, they don't care enough to actually make it great for you guys. They don't. How many times do you watch a trailer and go, oh my god, this looks so cool? Then you go to the movie and it's like, this was what I got or what I get. They know that once you've already bought the ticket and you're in the seat, they've got your money. And the only way for us to change any of it is to not go to the garbage. We have to actively not choose the garbage. It'll help. It'll help a lot. This dude is speaking straight facts right here, okay? This is a absolute 100% truth coming out of this man's mouth. I mean, because look, and especially in his position, he's a superhero, and he is like ingrained, into the whole mainstream culture, whatever like that. So you think he would keep his mouth shut on this, but apparently he ain't got no NDA or whatever like that probably at the moment. So he's like, I'm gonna just say my piece. You know what I mean? Um, but um, but yeah, he is speaking. He is on the money on this one, dog. I mean, if you're simply not interested in watching something, just don't go see it, because that's what's going to drive the mentality of studios, and what's going to, what decide what they want to invest into. You know what I mean? So if this, if you're not interested in superheroes like I am, like I usually avoid the superheroes. Um, I'm actually gonna go see Blue Beetle with my bro. But that's because he wants to see it. Um, but as far as I can tell, anyway, people are not watching that shit because they just ain't interested in it. You know what I mean? Because they're getting tired of superheroes. The Flash, the same thing. You know what I mean? And like it's just people are just getting have to showcase their um, their um, their exhaustion. You know what I mean, of a genre or whatever like that, or whatever the product is out there. You got to let people know that this is I'm not into this anymore. Like that's and the only way you do that is to to avoid it, to not show up. But they know, like, because Levi, like, he's saying, yeah, he's speaking it, man. It's like, if you don't, they don't even have to put much effort because they know they already got you. Like, they know you're going to go see it regardless. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're going to go see it regardless. Um, now, I will say, though, that I think that statement doesn't hold as much meaning behind it nowadays because of how the past few years have been going, because people are like becoming less and less interested to go to the theater, and they're becoming more comfortable waiting for streaming and all that. So I think it's more of a convenience that's taking place. um and there's got to be, it's just like people are sadistic. That's why people went to see Barbie. That's why people went to see the Mario movie. That's why people went to see these certain kinds of films, and thus making all the money, because people have a sadistic edge that drives them nowadays to go to the theater. It's not just general interest at that point, because usually streaming wins out. It has to be something so absurd for people to go out and see it, or something just in terms of an IP, something that really catches someone's eye. You know what I mean? Like, it has to be something very specific to really get people in the seats. Um, so I can kind of disagree on that part a little bit, but the overall context of how he's putting it, I mean, it's like he's on point. He is on point. Now, I would read the rest of this article, but this is where shit gets kind of ridiculous, because people are not bring up his movie, flopping, Shazam 2. People bring up his movie flopping in some weird ass context, because for some reason he's an actor and he's seen as a hypocrite for making these kind of comments, or that he's saying all this shit because his movie didn't do well. So, if his movie did well, he wouldn't be saying that shit. It's like, what does the movie flopping got to do with the man's statement? I mean, yeah, he's a sheep. We all know this. I mean, anybody who's in that system, in that capacity, it's like, well, yeah, of course you're a sheep. That. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, of course we know that. We know this, but it don't mean that his words shouldn't be considered. You know what I mean? What he's saying isn't valid. Like, what he's saying makes total sense. And it's not even just an opinion. It's straight facts what he's talking about. Because if you have consumed as much film, you will notice a pattern forming. You'll notice a standard that has been set. It's not like that they want to improve upon themselves. They're so comfortable with a certain style and a certain kind of delivery that they don't even have to put as much effort as they used to, because they already know. They're like, look, we already know what kind of numbers we're going to get in. We already know how many people are going to show up. And I think that what Zachary Levi is preaching, I think that is actually what people are doing more so nowadays. People are choosing to not go to the theater because of more or less convenience. I wouldn't say it's just because of a film of general interest of a movie, but I think it's more to do with convenience. But bringing up his movie, dog, is like, why? What does that got to do with anything? It's like, that doesn't, it makes no sense to bring up. I mean, yeah, I mean, he did some weird ass shit when promoting the movie, like attacking critics and. I mean, doing some shit like that. It's like, I don't get that nonsense. But it's like, what does that got to do with the man's opinion? Like, he's allowed to have an opinion, and his opinion, as far as I'm concerned, is straight fact, So, because, like, you can, like, believe me, you can tell if an actor is being PC, or under an NDA, you can tell when they're talking like that and when they have the freedom to speak, because like, you know, there's no NDA attached to him when he's saying all this shit. You know what I mean? When he's promoting the movie, you know, like Shazam 2, yeah, he's talking good on it. He's saying, yo, dude, like, this movie's great, you know, like, you know, I gotta, you know, he's gotta sell it as well as possible, you know what I mean? Because that affects his career and all that. So, you know what I mean? And he's legally obligated to speak well of him, you know? So, so it's not shocking when they go from being all positive to more cynical, you know, once a few months pass after the movie's out there and their contract's done, you know what I mean? So, so, you know, so I think that what he said is absolute truth. I think that people need to, they are, and I'm glad they are. You know, people uh, are becoming less interested to going to the theater, you know, and all that stuff. But I wish that it was more about quality of movies, not necessarily like convenience, because they're still seeking out the garbage. You know what I mean? They're just waiting for it to pop up on streaming, which I guess in turn does affect the overall, you know, the overall money that's being made from the movie. But you know what I mean? Like, but that goes back to the whole conversation about the theatrical experience and stuff like that. I still say the theatrical experience still wins out over streaming. But you know what I mean? It's like I think they're doing what Zachary is saying. You know, I think people are, you know, hurting studios by not going to the theater, you know, and I think studios will have to recalibrate. And that's all a good thing. That's all a good thing, you know. So, because I think that in a couple years we're gonna be seeing a change in what people desire when going to the theater. I still say it's gonna be horror. I think horror is gonna be the future of cinema. You know, 'cause so far we've been in the age of superheroes. I'm telling you, I think that horror is gonna come back strong. You know, I think it's really gonna be the forefront in the next coming years. Um, so, but because as far as I can tell from this summer, besides, you know, those oddities, you know, Barbie and whatever like that, horror has also been doing pretty good. I mean, Insidious did pretty well, you know what I mean? So it's like that's what I think the future is gonna be. So, um, but 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 yeah, Levi's comments, I think he was on point. I really think he was on point, and I think that what he's saying is also happening. You know what I mean? I think it's just literally happening right now. People are just choosing to not go see movies, you know, because they're just not interested in them. And they're just kind of waiting for the convenience of streaming because it's less expensive and it's also just more accessible when you're at home versus driving out and spending all your gas, you know, or all your money. It's like, you know, it hurts studios, you know, and it's good because it's gonna promote change, which is what we want, you know. So, so yeah, so I think this is all good stuff, you know. I think that, you know, his comments are valid. I'm pretty sure he's gonna backtrack though, you know, because, you know, when you say something like that or whatever, you know, usually someone in the inside is gonna be like, hey, you still want a career, you know, gotta gotta, you know, fall back on what you said, you know, don't you know, or you know, backtrack from what you said, you know. That's why he backtracked from his strike comments, you know. People have been doing that shit left and right. Stephen Amell did that. Some other person did that recently. I think it was Sarah Silverman. Yeah, she did that recently too. She made some comments on the strike. She backtracked from that shit too because the union is waving that shit in their fucking faces, saying, "Hey, you still want a career? You still want a career, man? No? Okay, well, you better check yourself." You know what I mean? It's like it's crazy, you know. You know, that's just how that shit be. It's how it works in Hollywood. You know, you're a sheep, but thankfully, um, thankfully this week though, Levi was like, you know, hey, I might be a fucking sheep, but guess what? This sheep got something to say, and it's straight facts. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So, so his words, I think, like, yeah, they're filled with truth, you know. The only thing I would say is that what he's saying about choose, like, we have to make the change and all that stuff, I think that change is happening right now. I really do. I really, really do. So, um, so, so yeah, I just want to do this video just because, you know, I saw those comments and I was like, yeah, well, I don't see what he's doing. Because usually when these actors speak, dude, it's like, it's filled with, like, you know, nonsense. It's like filled with like NDAs and, you know, got to be careful what I say and all that. You know, you can tell when you read it. But this one right here, it's like, yeah, no, he's letting himself speak. You know what I mean? He's not having to talk to any lawyers or whatever like that. He's like, no, I'm gonna say what I want to say. You know, so hopefully, you know, I mean, like, I'm just hoping that the next time I hear about him, I hope it's not something stupid where it's like, oh, he ain't working no more, whatever like that. Nah, fuck all that shit. Let people say what they gotta say. You know what I'm saying? Even if that shit makes no sense, you know what I mean? Like, at least let his words be out there. You know what I'm saying? So, because I'd rather hear what you guys say versus what your contract says. You know what I mean? So, but those are my thoughts on the whole Zachary Levi. You know, his comments. I think he's speaking truth. But you guys will know your thoughts on Levi's comments and just the whole where Hollywood's going. You know what I mean? And what we can do to change it. Let me know in the comments all below. And that's going to be it for this video, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. Tomorrow we start the What Have I Seen Lately week. So hope you guys will be enjoying those videos. And yeah, so that's going to be it, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. And until then, meaning tomorrow, I will catch you guys in the next video. Bye.